hope we're all well. I just thought I would come on here today. I need to pause what's on the TV. I just thought I'd come on here to pull a few cards to see what the energies are at the moment, see if there's any little messages that I need to share. So tarot and oracle cards are great because yes, we always get little sparks of intuition. However, sometimes it's kind of hard to hear. So this is a great way to get the message right to you, because it's hard to kind of trust that little feeling from within. So yeah, I love using oracle and tarot cards for that reason. A lot of people don't really like tarot and oracle cards because, you know, in society people always kind of thought, oh yeah, it's kind of spooky. There's demonic energy attached to those things, which is not true. The cards are not the issue. It is the energy of the person who is reading the cards and their intention. So if their intention is pure, you have nothing to worry about. Though of course, like, women for many years, for a very, very long time, have been completely villainized for this sort of work. But nowadays you don't get burned at the stake or told that you're working with the devil, etc. So hey ho. Weirdly enough, look what I just shut the fuck up. I just like split the deck and that's what came up. So yeah, there is in the world and in our generation, and you know, we're all connected, right? We have a very long line of ancestors, and that DNA passes from person to person to person, and generational trauma is very much a thing that can pass from person to person. It is also the reason why the world is the way it is, because it's built on structures from the past. So it is still present. It's called the witch wind. The witch wind is still present in our lives. And it is the reason, a lot of the reason why people are kind of shamed for this sort of work. That's why it's important to, if you do it, embrace it and don't hide it. Because I did for many years and it made me very sad. If you have a call from within, you must follow your heart, follow that call, because when you're not following your authentic life, and you keep ignoring it, eventually it blows up in your face. So yeah, if you're being drawn to whatever you're being drawn to in your heart, follow that trust. Because within your heart, there is a little direction that it wants to go in your soul. It's easy for your monkey mind to get involved. It is very easy for your monkey mind to get involved. Oh, now these don't feel right. Give me 2 minutes. Sometimes when I feel into the decks, they don't feel correct, don't feel right, and I actually need to take another one. And this is the one, to be honest. This is the Angel and Ancestors Oracle cards. By Kyle Gray, who's a Scottish person. So there we go. A little nod to the best place in the world. Just kidding. Anyway, right, what does the collective need to know at this time? What does the collective need to know at this time? Is there any messages that I need to share? Okay. Retreat and recharge, Hermit. And see from a higher perspective, the Eagle. Now, this has been a theme for me the past week. It's something that keeps coming up. And I filmed a video before, but I never shared it. And I wish I did, because it keeps coming up in conversations. and the same kind of energy and concepts keep coming up. So I will maybe share that one eventually, but right now I'm not going to do it. When the time's right, it will be right. But there is a call to spend more time on your own. In the world, when there is so much going on around us, i.e. so many different people, different expectations, and different energies, it is hard to truly hear the inner voice, the inner feelings, the inner calls. So there is a call to sit within that space. Now, sometimes it is extremely uncomfortable to be on your own. I completely understand that. I used to hate being on my own, but pushed myself to be uncomfortable and be on my own and isolate. In times where I was going through quite a rough spot in life, changing. This was maybe, I would say, it was probably, well, I mean, mostly during lockdown, I guess. We've all kind of been through that. But after lockdown, before lockdown, there was a lot of shit going down for me. And I was being called to be on my own, to go out within nature, to listen to the natural rhythm of my own self, to look within and meet the darker parts of myself, the more painful emotions and traumas that needed to be dealt with. Because when you're able to do that, you're able to take a little more more of an observational step back and to view everything from this perspective of non-judgment. Meditation is great for that. Meditation is not necessarily to silence the mind, because my mind is very rarely silent, if ever, to be honest. We have thousands upon thousands of thoughts a day. I don't even know the number, but we have constantly got thoughts in and around our mind and our space, energies in and around our space. So it's very, very rare that it's silent. To be able to silence that is a very, very amazing skill, very rare. I don't have that skill, but I'm able to look at this energy and these feelings from a more open-minded space, less judgmental, because that is when we're able to bring up things that maybe we're holding on to that are stopping us from living our best lives. We realize, for example, right, so we did a meditation today. Not so much a meditation, but it's an exercise where you feel the energy in each one of your chakras. So your chakras are the energy centers, the main energy centers in the body. There are many, but there's 7 main ones which govern different parts of your life, right? So we went from the root, worked our way up: root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown. We worked our way up, and each part we felt into the energy. What did we feel? What did we see? And we would take the symbolism or the feelings that we got and we kind of analysed them. And what I got when I got to the heart was all this beautiful loving energy, which is already in there. We already have that energy within, but it had been hardened, and there was almost this mind over heart energy based on pains that I've experienced in the past. So I had to kind of go in and bring these back up to be accepted and forgiven, myself to be forgiven, not the energy of the situation or whatever, not the situation or the person per se, but the energy behind the situation that made me stop myself from loving fully and to be loved fully. Because in life, it made me, things that I've experienced have made me doubt everything around me, doubt the intentions of people and things around me, when all I was doing was protecting myself. But that ego protecting myself, yes, it's great, the ego trying to help me protect myself, but it's stopping me from living my full potential. So that can be in many different forms, right? That's just a full-on example, but when you're able to see from that higher perspective of everything that's going on within, you're able to set yourself free. You're able to set yourself free and move beyond your own limitations, which often we don't have any control over, because it can be the smallest memory that we had as a child. It can be something we don't even realise has impacted us, that holds us back in life. but we must feel into that energy, and sometimes that means feeling emotions that we don't really want to address. This is shadow work. This is what shadow work is. So shadow work is looking within and facing the darker things that maybe make us feel sad or angry or whatever, but we have to acknowledge it because it's just as much part of us as the light is. Shadow and light are both part of us. No, it doesn't feel right, that card. Yeah, diving for light. Now, sometimes you have to dive into the darkest depths of life, of pain, to find the light within. So life often takes us on some more painful journeys that we don't want to face, emotions we don't want to face, but that's because everything is brought up at this time, especially in a summer solstice. The light energy, there's a lot of light at the moment, so the dark is being shone upon. There's a lot of things uncovering, a lot of awakening energy, but sometimes you have to dive very deep to things that aren't always the most comfortable, into your emotions, but when we're able to do so, you can accept and hold that part of yourself, because often that's all we need to be doing. We're called to be feeling that pain. Now, next one was She-Wolf, the wild, unleash the wild within. Unleash emotions are asking to be pulled out from within. The full moon is coming up, which is like the full moon is release. Energy is being released. It's an extremely energetically strong time with the solstice and the full moon. So expect emotional turmoil at this time. Like, it's not necessarily 100% a thing that's going to happen to you. It might not, it might be a different thing that happens to you, but emotionally there's going to be big things going on, but it's to bring it into balance, harmony. Without one, we can't have the other. That is the polarity of life. Each side of the scale. Without one, we can't have the other. It is the building blocks of life. Because if we didn't know what dark felt like and meant, we wouldn't have anything to compare it to. We wouldn't have anything to compare light to. You know? Often in life, as you start to become more aware of that, and open your eyes more, the darker becomes more dark, but the lighter becomes lighter and more obvious. So it's like this balancing act that we're always dancing in life. That's like how I like to look at it, and it does help me to navigate my emotions a lot more easily. It also allows me to walk away from things that don't serve me and to heal more easily. Oh my god, I can't reach this, just fell on the card. It's the Star card. This is the healing card. There's a massive healing time so the Star card is the energies from above coming down to cleanse, right? We are being guided, we are being cleansed. Whatever's coming up at this time is extremely important. We're being called to our true, authentic self. If we're not aligned with that, things are going to be pushed out of the way. If we're not living our truth and we're not being honest with ourselves, we're going to be forced to look at that and what in life do we need to change? How do we need to change? Another healing card, Temperance, healing, moderation, balance, and more guidance, guiding light. Okay. So you might be walking down this, here we go, Death card. These are all extremely, extremely strong cards. Transformation, new beginnings, to make way for new things. Death must come. Death is obviously the one thing we all are going to experience in life, just like birth. We're all to be born and we all die, which, yeah, some people think is an extremely jarring concept. However, if we become comfortable with the concept of endings and death, and we welcome it, we can bring more in. So what needs to go away? What do we need to clear out of our lives? That may be physical objects, that might be moving from one place to another, that might be leaving a job, it could be stopping a habit, it can be dropping our own opinions of ourselves and dropping expectations and moving into a space where we're being more honest with ourselves. It could be moving away from certain friendships, it could be so many things. And it's also, we can start again. 8 of Cups. Yeah, change, shift, walking away from things that no longer serve. The octopus is an extremely emotionally intelligent animal. It's extremely emotional. So to me, that tells me there is, from the pain and emotional growth that can come from it, it's not always just going to hurt. It's going to, in perspective, in the long run, give you the tools and the power that you need to move into a new life. Now there's the star again. Star, healing up above. The healing is coming from above. The solar energy is lighting up the way. That reminds me of like a lighthouse just behind there. Like, there's another, yeah, that makes me think of the lighthouse. Things are being focused on. My hay fever is absolutely unreal right now. So I'm trying not to sniff. Like, I tried to go on a walk earlier and I was like, do you know what, I actually can't even be outside, so I just have to try and sit inside, and it's really annoying, but it is what it is. Like, I was fine, I wasn't outside earlier on and my hay fever wasn't bad. I was like, well, maybe I can go on a walk, and then I went on a walk and it just started, so oh well. Anyway, here we go. 5 of Wands, conflict, competition, defense. What's this meaning? Okay, 5 of Wands and the Magician. 5 of Wands and the Magician. Competition, debate, defense, power, action, skill, a manifestation. It's almost like we have put a defense up for so long, being whoever we needed to be, following whatever we expected to be the right thing, but not knowing that we had the power within ourselves, that we could create our own lives, doing what we wanted to do. Because doing what other people want to do and what they expect brings a deep sadness. Aligning with yourself with people you think, you know, are doing it the right way, and neglecting what's going on in here creates this conflict. But you have the power within. You have the power within. And the best way to notice this is tapping into your heart space. Your heart center is the most powerful energy center within the body. And I swear down, like, Tibetan heart meditations are a great way to sit in that space. But sitting in that space, allowing whatever to flow in, breaking that open and allowing it to be seen. Because when we block that off and we live to in here, it creates resistance. We need to cut that off, the blade. There's another blade, Ace of Swords, the truth. success, change, decisions, actions. Decisions need to be made, and sometimes they're not going to be fun. I already said you might need to cut stuff off. The blade. That was the blade coming through. There may be relationships that are in conflict at the moment that need to be cut away and you need to turn your back on. Knowing that you can trust yourself to be on your own. It doesn't mean you end a relationship forever. It could just mean at that time you spend more time on your own. Because I said we're being called to spend more time on our own. This cheetah's gone on his own. But it doesn't necessarily mean ending a relationship. It's just being with the self for a bit. Grow within your current situation. No, that's not the card. I need to take a card from this deck. Where's the rest of this deck? Ah, here we go. Honestly, the way I do cards is so chaotic sometimes, but truly, like, anything that is pulled away from your life that falls down, doesn't serve you, is pulled away from you for your highest good, even when it doesn't feel like it. It's easier. You see that more easily when you're out with the situation. Okay, there's the Magician again. That's the ability to... Here we go. Came up again. Very powerful energies today. This part, another thing with summer solstice is you're being called to be like, right, you're in your life, what can you cultivate? What have you cultivated in the past? What skills have you learned? What do you need to then take on to your new wheel and new cycle, this next part of the year? So it's an extremely powerful time. Grace, and yeah, Temperance card came up, did it not? Did I not show you the Temperance card in the split? This is Temperance card vibes, like taking things that happen with grace, pain with grace, change with grace. It does get easier. Surrender, there we go. This reminds me of the Queen of Cups, surrender. I've been talking about this. Something has to give for you to receive again. Energy needs to move on. There needs to be clean. Like, think about your house, right? If you clear stuff out to welcome in new stuff, new energy, it's almost like that. Like, this is a portal time of change. The solstice. And we're being shown both our light and our dark. Passion flower. Where are we aligning with our passions? Are we living with grace and authenticity? Where can we change that? Where can we do that? Beyond the mind, the heart beats. I said getting into the heart space, beyond the mind. The heart rules. The heart rules that. The heart takes you where you need to go. The heart is your compass. And within the heart, there is opportunity, there is infinite love. It connects you to something deeper than just the outside world. Like, when you close your eyes and you just drop into the heart space, it's like all the mundane, everyday stuff on the outside that you think really matters, it doesn't really when you look within. You tap into that space. So please jump into that space. Go and spend time in nature. Spend more time on your own. What did you love to do as a child? Tap into that. What is no longer serving you and what is holding you back? There are certain things that need to be changed, okay? And that can be scary for some people because comfort is really nice. Dreams, shadow, yeah, shadow. She's she looks like the Hermit card, actually, if you know what the Hermit card is. In tarot, the Hermit has a hood. Pretty sure he does. And wolf, lone wolf, but like with the time on your own, you're able to really see how that darkness can serve. The full moon is coming up. You need to release stuff. Full moon is release. So yeah, spend time in nature, spend time on your own, spend time doing things you're passionate about. Meditate. Meditate doesn't always mean silencing your mind. It just means moving into a non-judgmental space of the self. Do more exercise, help the energy move out the body. Cleanse your energy. Go put your feet in the bare feet in the grass and ask, can any energy that no longer serves me be taken away, please? I send it down to the earth to be taken away with love and light. It's all about intention. Connecting with nature, connecting with our roots. Because if we're always inside, stop connecting with the sky and with the earth, we're cutting ourselves off from that divine natural energy, which is in all living beings and living things. It's a very healing energy to be around. There we go, and there's some confirmation. There's the eagle again. This is the size of this deck. Eagle. See things from a higher perspective. Eagles know what they want. Eagles are powerful. They're regal. They're strong. They don't bullshit. They're able to see the one thing that they need to go for when they're hunting. It's a beautiful, that is a beautiful card. Seeing from that perspective is just a freeing experience. Think about the eagle in America. It's the animal is free. We need to be free from, when we look at the darker side of ourselves, when we explore our passions, when we no longer give a fuck about what people think and we are ourselves, there's an element of freedom that comes along with that. When we realise the shadow and all the darkness around us is representative of the shadow within us, we realise it's just part of us and part of our life, we can grow to accept that, bring that in and change it, alchemize it into something more light and beautiful. And that is an energy that's been following me for like a week now, and I've not really put two and two together, but the idea of there's detachment. Detachment from the outcome, detachment from pain, detachment from our emotions, detachment from control, because we can't control anything. But our mindset, we can control our mindset, which helps with our perception of our reality, which makes life a lot easier to live. Honestly, see, when I do these readings and stuff and pull cards, I have no idea what the hell I'm saying most of the time, and I just kind of go with the flow and see what happens. So yeah, I hope this resonated for someone. I'm sure it did, and I'm not sure if I'm going to share this on Instagram. I might just share it on YouTube, to be honest, because I'm still teetering on the edge of in fear of judgment. But that's okay. It's part of me. It's that tug of war that I'm going through that's kind of making me make moves and helping me to try and navigate life. How do I become a better person? What message do I need to share? Because I really am starting to overthink it too much. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got something from this. I know sometimes it can be a little like all over the place, but I'm sure there's something in here for whoever feels drawn. And yeah, so I do card readings, I do energy readings. So if you would like a little tarot or oracle card reading and energy reading, please give me a little message. And yeah, we'll see what we can do. I absolutely love this work. It's the most fulfilling thing. And when you start to see that there's magic in this world and a beautiful divine energy around us all that we can communicate with and help get guidance from, life becomes a whole lot easier. Trust me. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely morning, noon, evening, night, whenever you're watching this. Happy solstice. We're now going into the next half of the year. Terrifying. 2024 is a big one. Can't believe when you look back in a year, like how different everything is. So yeah, just take each day within your stride and know that everything gets better. Every hindrance and hard thing that you experience is just for your pruning. Think of a tree. It needs to be a tree or a plant. You need to cut off leaves and replant it and all sorts for it to grow more and to become more healthy, to become bigger, to, you know, it's just, we're like plants but with really complex emotions. Okay, and you can deal with that. You have the power within to deal with that. So that's almost half an hour of chatting. Sending you lots of love and Reiki love, and yeah, see you in my next video.